The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Thursday, the 5th day of June, 2025. Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House Lindos, and People's Pharmacy. I'm Jamal Hartman. She's Mia Chambray, and Maya Palacio will be with us a bit to bring you the latest in the news break brought to you by People's. Mia, how are you?
Hey, Jamel. I'm great. How are you? Oh, my gosh. It's a little bit different this morning since the last time I was on.
Yeah, it's been a while. I think, we're 5 days deep into June already. Almost half the year gone by the time we reach the end of this month. But you had a great Heritage Month.
I did. Yes, it was very busy. So, and it's like also my birthday and anniversary and Mother's Day, and then obviously Heritage Month was amazing. So yeah, I had
May is a big month for you.
It's a big month for me. Yeah. Also, Gunnar broke his arm, as we know. So
I was just gonna ask, how's your son's arm? Like, is he? Because she sent a video, folks. I'm like, how is he so unbothered with a broken arm?
So my little boy, he broke his arm the weekend before 24th of May. So yeah, he's fine. Honestly, he's just like, he's like, I just learned to write with my left hand, and the hospital was amazing. The fracture clinic, we have had a great experience. So yeah.
Wow.
It's been busy.
Great experience after a broken arm. My goodness, children are built differently these days.
They really are.
All right. Greetings, everyone, and thanks for making us part of the daily routine. A good one today as we welcome Laurie Shiell on from the Center Against Abuse. We're discussing how they continue to support those who have been impacted by domestic violence and abuse, and also how they educate the community on what they do. The Daily Play is a name that place. So in the meantime, I just want to give a big shout out to everyone who continues to tune in on Hot 107.5. Big up to Will, the real deal over there at Hot 107.5, ensuring that we are pumping through your radio in your car, at your home, wherever it is. But we appreciate all of you. If you are tuned in on the radio and you'd like to engage with us live, you can either go on thedailyhour.com, Facebook, or YouTube, and you can do that directly. All right. By the way, don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Well, let's jump right into this. So I'm going to put the question up, and then I'll read the press release. So when I ask the audience, Mia, what are your thoughts on the People's Independent Coalition, right? That's the question. But the reason we're asking that is because there was a press release yesterday, June 4th, 2025, and it was titled Bermuda's Independent Candidates Stand Together for the People. The independent candidates of Bermuda have heard the people's call for change, unity, and accountable leadership. Today, we stand together as a cohesive movement under the banner, the People's Independent Coalition, PIC, Independent Voices, United Vision. We pledge to work collectively for a Bermuda that puts people before politics. Though the 2025 general election did not result in independent representation in Parliament, the record-breaking number of candidates and the overwhelming support from voters have proven one thing: Bermuda is ready for a new way forward. A unified commitment to Bermuda, we recognize that the strength of independent leadership lies in collaboration, not division. Moving forward, we pledge to work collectively. Despite being independents, we will align on key issues affecting Bermudians, cost of living, healthcare, education, and economic fairness to amplify our impact. Hold government accountable, even without seats. We will monitor policy decisions, demand transparency, and ensure the people's voices are heard. Prepare for the future. We will refine our strategies, engage deeper with communities, and build a stronger foundation for the next election. Why this matters now more than ever? The two-party system has left many Bermudians feeling unheard. The rise of independent candidates was not a protest. It was a demand for representation without partisan barriers. We remain steadfast in our belief that Bermuda deserves leaders who listen first, act second, put country over party, fight for fairness, not favoritism. PIC, your future, the path ahead. PIC is more than a slogan. It's a promise. We will continue engaging with voters, hosting town halls, and advocating for policies that reflect Bermuda's true needs. To every Bermudian who supported change, thank you. This movement belongs to you, and together we will keep pushing for a government that works for all of Bermuda, the independent candidates of Bermuda. Audience, you heard all of that. The question of the morning, what are your thoughts on the People's Independent Coalition? And this is your daily discussion brought to you by our friends at Titan Express and Secure Trucking. But also, do you believe independent candidates can make a difference in Bermuda? Do you believe independent candidates can make a difference in Bermuda? Mia, you're shaking your head.
Well, yeah, I just was so impressed with the outpouring of independent candidates during the election. It really was an uprising and a movement that I think many people were hungry for and continue to be. So reading that statement yesterday and speaking about it today, I'm actually really happy to hear from them and that they didn't just fizzle off into the nether world. It's really exciting that they're still banding together. Obviously, they're still meeting and they want to move collectively, because I think what happened during the election is that it was just a bit too fractured and people couldn't really get their heads around it in such a short amount of time. What I did read in the press release was that they did garner 10% of the vote, which actually is quite a decent amount of votes. So people were looking to see change, but maybe just this election time around, there just wasn't enough time, capacity, ability for people to get to know the independent candidates. So moving forward collectively and still, taking the government to task, even if they don't have a seat, I find very encouraging.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting. I think for me, I'm very I'm interested to see if the independent candidates, one, will be consistent in showing up over the next 3 to 5 years. That's number one. Number two is, how do they get around the "we're not a political party" check? I think that's one of the things where they're going to have to build trust, because most people will see this. Even though, there was a line in that press release, there was a line in there that spoke to, them aligning, like having a cohesive movement, but they're still independent. Like it's a bit confusing to folks who who are not trying to easily understand it. That makes sense?
Well, I agree with that. So if you think about kind of like, for example, so extreme sports. If you're representing, for example, if you're representing skateboarding for Bermuda in the Olympics, you're each skateboarding under the Bermudian flag, but you actually are independently skating for yourself in order to gain, different medals, etc. So it's an independent sport, but however, you are collectively moving together to represent your country. So maybe, I don't know if that's an appropriate analogy, but it's something that I've thought of, how, maybe there's more trustworthiness in a movement of collective thinking and representation, whereas people are still allowed to have their own independent voices, which to me personally actually really appeals to me as a voter and as a free thinker. It does really appeal to me, and I think it will probably appeal to a lot of Bermudians, because we just kind of feel tethered to the two different parties, and you want to kind of break free from that and maybe have some more independence, and there's more independent thinkers, more people who maybe want to engage in the vote. This might give people more excitement and opportunity to do so.
Okay. What are your thoughts, audience? What are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on the People's Independent Coalition? Do you feel, confident that they can make a difference? Like, do you feel like, oh, it's just another political party, that's saying they're independent? Are you on board with the ideals? And do you believe that independent candidates can actually make a difference in Bermuda right now? Suzanne Ingham says, it's about time we had politicians who put the people first. I think they can make a big change. Good analysis, Mia. I'm hopeful.
Me
I'm
too.
hopeful, but I think, and I'm hopeful that these voices can make a difference. I'm hopeful that the election being over. I know, when we had Omar Dill on earlier this year or last year, and Sancha, asked, well, where was the FDM the last few years?
Yes.
Even with the FDM, people want to see you. They don't want to see you show up when an election's on the horizon. So that's what I'm more interested in, is how do they remain relevant and community driven when the reward isn't what being elected is, if that makes sense. I'm not saying that they're in it for what comes after being elected, but how do they stay motivated?
Well, I think it's like any type of small business or entrepreneurial mindset, which if you are running to be an independent candidate, you would, I think, share a lot of the same characteristics as somebody who's an entrepreneur, for example. So, in the beginning, it takes 5 years to really even start to see any kind of revenue generated for your business. But you are really dedicated to your business and to the community and to, your brand and who you're serving, and what you actually want to do within, for and with the people. So I think it's maybe some mindsets like that. So, they didn't get in this time, but we all know that sometimes you have to plant a seed. The best time to plant a seed was 20 years ago, and the second best time is now. So I think they are planting the seed, and hopefully we'll be creating trust within the community.
Fair enough. Fair enough. How are you feeling, audience, though? How is the audience feeling? How are you feeling about the People's Independent Coalition? If you haven't heard, the People's Independent Coalition is made up of many of the independents candidates who ran in the most recent election in February of 2025. They've created a coalition and plan to work together, as I stated from the press release. Despite their, independent representation or their being independent, they are looking forward to aligning on key issues affecting Bermudians. So it's not about even key issues that they care about. They're saying they plan to align on key issues affecting Bermuda, like the cost of living, healthcare, education, and economic fairness. But how are you feeling? Do you think this is something that can work for Bermuda and Bermudians? Charles H. Jeffers II, he says, I find it interesting that many are fixated on if they are a party or not. I'm more interested in who is a part of this coalition than if they are a party or not. I agree with Charles, actually.
So do I. And I had the same question when I was reading the press release.
Yeah.
I was like, who's in this?
I think that's key. And I think it would be fair. Mia, did they have a website already?
I actually, when I was investigating their socials, I couldn't find them on Instagram, and I admittedly couldn't find their website. But maybe that was just me, because I was doing some midnight social mediaing and Googling. But I couldn't find anything off the top of the bat. But I have to say that the independent candidates' personal websites were excellent. Susie Arruda's, for example, was absolutely exceptional. So not to say that they might be just having some tweaks, or maybe it was just me.
So I guess to Charles's point as well, though, I think it's important for us to want to understand, is every independent candidate, former, present, or future, a part of this, or is it like certain ones? So I think finding out because on the press release it says about PIC, the People's Independent Coalition is a united alliance of former and future independent candidates dedicated to ethical, nonpartisan governance. Well, who is part of that is key. I think it'll be nice for them to have a website so that people can see who's actually behind this, who's a part of it, so that they can know whether it makes sense to support this. I mean, there are people who have done things personally and professionally that we may not align with, right? So we're like, well, I want to support this person, but they're writing like they're on the same team as this person, So I think that's necessary. Charles H. Duffus II also says the people and what they stand for individually is more important to me than if they are a party. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I feel the same way. Yeah.
What else, audience? Go ahead, Mia. What are you saying?
No, I was just going to say, I feel like if, for example, many of the independents I felt very in alignment with this last election, but I didn't have an independent in my constituency, but I felt very in alignment. Was very impressed with the people that did come out and put their names forward. So many of them I know personally, professionally, and it was really refreshing to see. And I love that this press release just came out as well. I think it's very exciting.
We've got Diane Elliott said the news last night reported that it was 12 or 15 out of the 27 independents in PIC and provided their names. Okay, but we don't have names. We definitely didn't get names when we were sent this yesterday. But we can definitely follow up and see if we can get some. But we definitely do not have names. Let me just double check.
Yeah, I was just going to do the same thing.
We don't have any names. We just got the press release that was given to us. So we can dig deeper. Thank you for that, Diane Elliott. But I think that having the names is going to be important for people, to Charles's point, whether or not it truly makes sense for individuals to support the independent movement. Now, of the 12 of 27, the question would beg, well, why aren't the others part of that? Right?
Of course. I mean, there's a myriad of reasons. Some people throw their hat into the political ring and think, oh, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe some people's circumstances have changed. Potentially, they're still reaching out to people to see if they want to be involved in the movement. Maybe there's as part of their initial rollout to, for call out for all the independents. There's a myriad of reasons why they only have half of the original 27. And I think kind of at the end of the election, when independents were putting themselves out there, it started, in my opinion, to become like everybody was kind of putting their name forward because people were so passionate and people really do care about Bermuda. And I thought that was really great of them to do that. But maybe upon reflection, they think, oh, maybe I actually don't want to. I think
everybody cares about Bermuda when they want to vote.
I do. Well, that's true.
Elliott says it definitely did not include Sir John's. Man, Sir John is about to celebrate 89 or 90. If I'm Sir John, I'm washing my hands, man. I've given you all I can give you. I mean, you made a decision. And I'm not saying Sir John should just give up on Bermuda and Bermudians. I'm not saying that, but he's given so much, to the point where why you made your decision. Let me allow those who want to take over and do stuff. Let them do it. But no surprise, his name's not there. Kenton Trott says party politics is a well-oiled machine. It will be an uphill battle for them. The most important thing the people want is consistency. If they can provide that, they will make ground. Again, question of the morning, what are your thoughts on the People's Independent Coalition? Do you believe independent candidates can make a difference in Bermuda? WKD Lama says an independent coalition is a party. I support independent candidates. Bermuda is too immature to rely on parties. Okay. All right. So we're going to bring my applause to you and for the Daily Hour News break. Don't forget, we've got Laurie Shiell coming up. We're talking Center Against Abuse today, folks. All right. Center Against Abuse. What they do, how they're supporting people in the community, and education as well. So you don't want to miss this. But in the meantime, let's give some love to Titan Express and Secure Trucking for ensuring we can have these discussions with you on a daily basis.
The Daily Discussion is brought to you by Titan Express and Secure. Visit TitanEXBDA.com, your leading tour and transport provider specializing in Black History tours throughout the island. And SecureBDA.com for all your property management, waste management, residential, and commercial trucking needs. Professional, punctual, and reliable service is our commitment to you.
All righty. So, Mia, you got the names?
I do. Yes, I do.
Who we got?
Okay, so we've got, drum roll, we've got Susie Aruda, Christopher. Jamal, don't make me laugh. Okay, do it again. Do it again. Give me a drum roll, Jamal. Ready? Susie Aruda, Vic Ball, Christopher Bean, Cyree Bean, Rolf Commission, 1A Crockwell, Dwight Jackson, Gavin Kennedy, Tiffany Painter, Renee Webb, Mysterio Weeks, and Noel Young.
All righty. Okay. All righty. Well,
can I say that one more time?
No. I got it. All right. Let's bring my applause here in. So we're missing Karen Magnum. Okay. We'll get back to it. Let's bring my applause. We'll hold that thought after Laurie.
Okay, yes.
We'll get back to that. Let's bring my applause here in for Daily Hour News Break.
Good morning. Good morning.
Greetings, MP. How are you?
Feeling pretty good this morning.
You're not an independent candidate, are you?
Oh gosh, Jamal.
I'm just names show up in places. I don't know. I just gotta ask these things.
Very interesting to see the list of those who actually stayed on and want to continue throughout and make it within the coalition though. So thanks for providing that.
Yeah, for sure. I thought she was gonna call my name for a second. No, I'm joking. You don't have to worry about that, folks. What you got for us today, MP?
Well, good morning, everyone. This is your Daily Hour News Break brought to you by the good people at People's Pharmacy. A reminder that you know what's coming up very soon. Carnival. So don't forget your blister pads, pain relievers, and all that hydration stuff that you need, and make sure you get it from People's Pharmacy. So we're going to start out our news this morning with something that, you know, the people wanted to talk about. We had a bit of a streeters that I did in St. George's. One of the big topics that was brought and presented to us was homelessness in Bermuda. You know, the people who are working tirelessly job after job after job and still barely even making it by in Bermuda. So Bermuda is Love recently put out this graphic. I'll show it to you guys here with the statistics at the end as well. But just reading these little bit of key points before we get into the meat of the story of one of the parts that they were talking about here. But these graphics show that it's over 1,000 persons who are registered as homeless in Bermuda, you know, 375 families on housing wanting lists. The cost of an average place to rent in Bermuda is like $3,000. And the cost of an average home being $1 million. I don't think these statistics are going to like shock anyone too much, but moving on to some of the things that, you know, we are dealing with as an island, as a unit, you know, things of when it comes to property and the average cost, mortgages, rent. And those who listen on the radio, so I'll put up a little bit of numbers here that it shows, but, you know, single family costs like $1 million in property. Then you got property types, you know, 1 bedrooms can cost between $2,000 to $4,000 in rent alone. You know, mortgages are just going up there, even despite some of the, you know, adjustments that this government has made. But what I want to really get into right now is this meat of one of the stories is what we're doing right now when it comes to housing and what's available. So what Bermuda's Love kind of found out with these graphics here, within the private sector, there being about 57 listings, Airbnb being 403 listings, and then derelict and vacant buildings is 181. But we're going to focus on those top two right now, the private sector and the Airbnb. I went ahead and looked at Airbnb Bermuda. I'm currently out in Toronto, so it showed me in Toronto figures and numbers. And I just wanted to see for myself. I only went on 2 things. So I went Airbnb and I went Property Skipper. We're going to talk about what's available and what's out there. So the first one here is what it shows is available on the Airbnb list. Now it's about a little over 200 there that's available. You can see the price ranges right there in front of you as well. Again, for those on the radio, though, we're looking at, you know, 699 Canadian night, 430, 220 Canadian dollars a night, 389 Canadian dollars a night. I'll flip to another page here. 460, some over 1,000, 370. But we're getting the gist of it. There are ranges that people could stay in Bermuda for about 220 a night to even up to almost 3,000 a night. But there are options over 200. That's our main gist from this graphics here that I'm showing you about what I found in what areas. Property Skipper. I put in no location, put apartment for rent, 1 bedroom, only 11 properties available. Versus what I had noticed before of over 200 for Airbnb. And what you're looking at right now, and again, for those over the radio, the first things they show me is 3 bedrooms. And I'm like, okay, are there any 1 bedrooms? Still looking, you got 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms. But again, mostly over 4,000 or around the $4,000 mark.
Mm-hmm.
I was only able to find 1 bedroom that was $6,800. So I'm just gonna leave that there for open discussion as to, whoever's looking out there right now for housing in Bermuda. And this is just a quick, easy search that I did before the show, and I was thinking this will definitely tap me out from wanting to go any further.
I'll just say this much. I think we never talk about banks when we talk about this. People are only charging what they charge because they have to pay the bank back. And so I think to have these conversations, it's not the landlord that's the big bad wolf or even the government. It's the banks. Like we have to have the courage to go deeper and ask about mortgages and how they control things, because I don't think people are really making money off of renting places. They're literally just trying to pay mortgages and have a piece of the rock. So that's my quick opinion, because I know we've got a rock, but yeah, I think we need to focus on the banks. And Craig Simmons actually said that when he came on the show, like they continue to go unscathed.
Yeah. Exactly. And I think it was talking about how if the people aren't pushing back, then this will be something that just continues on and on and on, because obviously, greed welcomes greed. But what we're seeing here again, like you were talking about, even paying the mortgage, people probably have to do the Airbnb route in order to even survive in Bermuda, and pay those other things that they have to pay, even if they want to maybe open up to renting. It just Airbnb does get them back.
We gotta bring this story back.
Yes. Okay. So there you go. Just showing what's available in Bermuda on those 2 platforms. And we're just going to close it out right now with quick little sports related news, bringing up to our Bermudian football and men's, because they're on the road to the CONCACAF qualifiers for the FIFA World 2025, which resumed yesterday. And a little breakdown of the game last night. But Zico Lewis struck the lone goal for the first half at the 12-minute mark, converting a penalty kick opportunity for our hosts. And Parfit Williams extended the lead in the 54th minute. Then you got Cole Hall as well, struck a goal from a long distance. Reggie Lamb strikes inside the box in the 79th minute. And then Julian Carpenter added the 5th for Bermuda in the 85th minute. So Bermuda improved to 4 points and will meet Cuba on Tuesday to continue their hopes to that coveted FIFA World Cup in the next round.
There you go.
Indeed.
You got to. How's the weather looking?
Weather's looking extensively sunshiny out there today, so shouldn't be any complaints at all. A little bit of light breeze, and we've got a high of 76.
All right, Mia, what you got for days of the year?
Oh, days of the year. Today is International Hamburger Day. So I wanted to quickly ask you guys, what's your favorite condiment or item to put on a hamburger?
Can I just say real quickly?
Yes.
I think it's safe to ask the audience, because you're going to have someone in the audience that's going to say, well, I like a vegan Beyond Burger with bacon. We're not going to call any names, but that's somebody. Go ahead. I want to know what you think. Maya, what's your condiments?
I don't really eat hamburgers. I'll just say ketchup.
Ketchup? You like ketchup? I like pickles and or avocado. And I do love Beyond Burgers, Jamal. So
pickles are better on a burger than popcorn. I ain't calling no names, but
who has popcorn on the burgers? That's
pickles on the popcorn. I mean, for I haven't had a hamburger since the 90s, but like a turkey burger or something or Beyond. I'm gonna go with raw onion. Yep, my breath's gonna be that. Yep, raw onion. Probably little pickles, jalapeno, and I'll do that regular stuff like relish and ketchup as well.
Yeah.
What?
No, it's just too much for me.
I love a big loaded burger, like all the everything, not raw onions though.
Loaded to you? Bacon, jam, Swiss, onions, ketchup, lettuce.
Ooh, yeah.
Mustard and relish. That's simple. Okay, we've got mayo, ketchup, and fried onion.
Oh.
Why you all don't like raw onion?
Because it makes you stink.
Yeah, that's so. All right. Something tells me Maya's coming with something that's gonna. Yeah. Maya, you have a wonderful one.
Bye, guys.
All right. Folks, we're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We're going to come back. I want to know what Laurie's what she likes on her burger too. We'll be back with Laurie Shiell from the Center Against Abuse.
People's ACW, located at King Edward VII Memorial Hospital, carries over-the-counter medicines, toys, cards, and even toiletries. Our knowledgeable staff are there whether you're at emergency, visiting family, or a member of BHB staff, to show you our best even when you're feeling your worst. People's ACW, we're here for you.
Hi there, welcome to Medical House. We're located at number 6 Bakery Lane. I can't wait to show you all of the great stuff that we carry. Come on inside, let's see. Long days, long shifts, you no longer have to endure comfortable underwear. Designed by nurses, we now offer premium undergarments by Swoop that are unique, fun, comfortable, and functional. The only underwear you'll ever want to wear. Who says high-quality functional products can be stylish and comfortable at the same time?
See it all at our new expanded location on Bakery Lane.
Attention home renovators and design lovers, your dream space starts here. The brand new Kohler retail showroom at BAC Group is now open, bringing you up to 35% savings on all Kohler products at U.S. manufacturer suggested retail prices. That means no extra fees, no freight, no wharfage, no duty, no document processing fees. Just pure cutting-edge Kohler design at unbeatable value. From sleek kitchen and bathroom faucets, vanities, toilets, to statement sinks, walking tubs, and spa-worthy bathtubs, BAC brings innovation and luxury within reach. Visit the BAC showroom on Mill Creek Road today for style, quality, no surprises. Just color from BAC.
Discover Drop It, your go-to grocery delivery. Browse and select from a wide range of groceries, from fresh produce to daily essentials. Our friendly drivers deliver fresh groceries to your door fast, saving you time and hassle. With Drop It, you get fresh groceries delivered fast so you can focus on what really matters. Drop It, freshness at your doorstep, delivered to your door with Lindo's. Why go anyplace else?
Dreaming of expanding your business? With BDC's Loan Guarantee Program, we support your ambitions. Get up to 75% guarantee on bank or credit union loans up to $300,000. Just your vision and our support. Apply today and unlock new business opportunities. BDC, Bermuda business starts here.
All right, welcome back to the big show. Thanks again to the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House, Lindo's, and Peoples for ensuring that we were able to do this with you. Well, I'm Jamal Hartman. She's Mia Chambray. It's the Daily Hour. Don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Big up to everyone who's tuned in on Hot 107.5. Thanks so much to Will the Real Deal over there at Hot 107.5, ensuring that we're pumping through the radio station so that those who, don't want to use their data can tune in and listen to us. So thank you to them. But without further ado, let's give her a warm TDH welcome to our very special guest today. She's been on before, but always a pleasure to have her back. Laurie Shiell from the Center Against Abuse, folks. Let's give her a warm TDH welcome. Hello. How are you?
Hello. Good morning. How are you today? Good morning, Mia.
Hi, Laurie. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you.
We are wonderful. We are happy to have you. I got two things for you, right? First, I want to ask you your favorite condiment on a burger.
So let me just start off with saying I love food.
Okay.
When it comes to a hamburger, I prefer cheese on it. I prefer a cheeseburger. But my favorite cheeseburger is with the works. I like everything on my hamburger. So Mia talked about avocado. I like avocado, mayonnaise, ketchup, relish, mustard, a thin slice of fresh onion, fried onion, even sometimes onion chutney, slice of tomato, lettuce. I'm low. What can I say?
I think you made me feel better. slice of onion. You didn't say fried or raw, so I'm gonna take you raw. 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 Yeah, yeah. But no, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And before we get
Yeah,
on
no,
the
I didn't slice a raw onion. Yeah.
raw, okay, because okay, just want to make sure she said raw, folks. So we're aligned. Let our breath stink together. All right. But real quickly before we move on, just wanted to send yourself, your family, all the love in the world due to the loss of your stepdaughter recently in what was probably one of the most tragic incidents we've had in Bermuda. So on a serious note, just want to send that love. But jumping into today's conversation, just remind people, the audience in particular, about the key mission, like the Center Against Abuse's key mission and the core services you offer to those affected by domestic violence and sexual assault in Bermuda.
Yeah. So our key mission is to provide services to adults who are survivors of intimate partner abuse and sexual assault in Bermuda, as well as we provide awareness and education on those topics. Um, this is something that has been going on in Bermuda since the beginning of time in Bermuda. As you know, sexual assault and intimate partner abuse, or as it's more commonly known, the broader use of it, domestic abuse, is not something new, but Center Against Abuse is the only organization on island that has that direct focus of tackling it. We provide a bundle of services to assist individuals who are victims. That will include our counseling service, which actually last year we did over 500 hours of counseling for over 80 clients. We do our legal advocacy as well. Along with that, we have our 24-hour hotline. We are also providing safe housing. Interestingly enough, just before this segment, you had on Maya Palacio spoke about housing in Bermuda, and this has been greatly also affecting safe housing because our prior model utilized that Airbnb for our safe housing, but the cost of Airbnbs have more than tripled since 2020 when we began that model. And so we're now currently looking to see how else can we assist clients when they have to be out of a place immediately. So we are working with government and others on that. In particular, we work closely with whom alongside of that as well. We also liaise a lot with other organizations, the government industries. We are part of the Multi-Agency Risk Assessment Conference called MARAC, which we meet every other week with ourselves, Department of Child and Family Services, the police, as well as aging and disability, just to discuss high-risk domestic abuse cases in Bermuda, as well as we're a part of the sexual assault response team. And that's short for SART. SART is short for that. And what we do is we provide services, a wraparound service, which includes ourselves, the police, once again, Department of Child and Family Services, and Aging and Disability Services, along with nurse examiners, sexual assault nurse examiners. And we provide a wraparound services to those who have been sexually assaulted within the last 5 days of the assault. Let me say it that way.
I mean, it's a lot that you do, but how does if you go in detail real quickly, how does the Center Against Abuse support survivors emotionally, legally, and practically so that they can begin to rebuild their lives after experiencing abuse?
Yeah. So one of the things that we focus on is like individual plans for each person. So we provide the counseling for them should they need that. We basically sit down, listen to them, find out what their immediate needs are. And we focus on those immediate needs first. So it may be that their immediate need is safety. And so we discuss with them a safety plan. We discuss how they may be able to stay safe. We may discuss their emotional needs as well, which is where the counseling comes in. assist them with needs as well as assist them with providing them some hope for tomorrow, not just for themselves, but at the end of the day, that also provides them children as well. And so we're working not just for the client that's sitting in front of them, but for their children and their children. The goal of Center Against Abuse is to end domestic abuse and sexual assault in Bermuda. And we do that via those that are in front of us and come to our services, which is what we call our reactive response, and then our proactive is through education and awareness.
Amazing. And speaking of education, Laurie, I know it plays a huge role in prevention. What kinds of community outreach or school programs do the center offer to raise awareness and change attitudes around abuse?
Okay. So we offer a number of awareness, right? So this year we're rolling out a program called Coaching Mess into Man, which is specifically target what I would call sporting individuals. We work with coaches and we train coaches up how to have these 15-minute conversations with their students, but their players. And it's 15 minutes once a week for about 12 weeks. And we have topics on there in order for them to have these conversations with them. So we are rolling that out this year to sporting organizations. Another thing that we have been doing is we've been working with various government organizations to have training. So we've trained the police, we've trained DCFS, we've done some training as well with other government organizations. We're looking to train those that are beyond now, Bermuda Housing Corporation, financial assistance, anyone that we see in the community that is involved with individuals, whether it be with housing or whether it be front facing with individuals who quite possibly could recognize that that person may be in an abusive relationship, or that person could be able to assist them with somebody that is in an abusive relationship. So what our goal is to try and provide that information to those individuals and how to best help that person, not to turn them away. Is how basically teaching people how to recognize, respond, and refer when it comes to domestic abuse.
And as you just said, Laurie, well, first of all, that's incredible. But we do know that domestic violence and emotional abuse often hides in plain sight. How can friends, family members, and coworkers better recognize the signs and support someone who may be experiencing abuse?
Thank you, Mia. So one of the things that we want people to recognize is that physical abuse is just part of the abuse. When you hear somebody speaking about someone or to someone badly or undermining their emotional well-being or manipulating them. Manipulation is something that is utilized greatly by an abuser. One of the things you want to do is have a conversation with your family member or friend and ask them, is everything okay? You know, I saw something, I heard something, and it really concerned me, it disturbed me, or I saw how you reacted to what was said, and that really concerned me. And so you want to have that type of approach with the family member or friend, stating that how concerned you were, why you were concerned. You know, I didn't think that that was the right thing to say to you. I didn't think that they responded correctly. Is that how they always talk to you? Or I've seen them do this to you before. I'm concerned for this being a pattern of behavior. And of course, it's up to the individual to make that decision, right? If they want to tell you or not, but you have now opened the door to say, listen, I'm here for you. Anything that you need, I think you deserve better. And I'm just a safe space for you. And then you want to, you know, just continually keep in contact with that person. If they do share with you, let them know that you are there for them. However, that there are services available to them. And if they're not okay with coming to us on that their own, then you can come in with them, or we can talk to them over the phone. You don't necessarily have to come into the office to receive assistance from us. And we meet people where they are at. And while people may want services, many of them still want the relationship as well, right? And so we have to meet people where they're at and work with them and get them to understand that they are more important than the other person. Because when it comes to an abusive relationship, there has been a connection that has already been made with that individual and their partner, right? And so we're kind of like a third wheel way back here,
right,
trying to make a wave with something that's like this.
Right.
And so we work with the individual at the rate that they are available and ready to work on.
Gotcha.
And sometimes it's just that one thing that clicks in that client's head. We want to move forward right now. I want to move forward. Although I've been kind of slow to it, but something clicks when they were like, nope, this is what I want to do. I want to cut it off right now.
Now, collaboration is key, Laurie, in a small community like Bermuda. Can you tell us a little bit about how the Center Against Abuse works with police? I mean, you touched on it already. Police, hospitals, and other local organizations.
It appears my...
Oh, let's try that. So collaboration is key in small community like Bermuda. Tell us about how the Center Against Abuse works with police, hospitals, and other local organizations to create a safer and more responsive support network.
Right. And so one of the things that we do is that we definitely work very closely with the police. And so when there is an incident of abuse that happens, and domestic abuse is one of the police's greatest call outs. And so we receive information daily about domestics that happen every day in Bermuda. And so we work with the police daily to determine who do we need to be proactive with. And so we are looking at a more proactive response when it comes to domestic abuse and making that contact with the client and letting the client know that this is our services are available to you. And we try to do it in a safe way as possible, having the police make the contact first, determining what's the best way to do it, and then or safest way to make contact with them. And then we try and make contact with that client just to let them know about our services. Some clients may say to us, well, I'm not interested in you at this time, but I'll keep your information just in case. And so we are continually trying to do that, not just in this arena, but we're looking to also work even more closely with Department of Education as well, because, abuse doesn't show up at work. It also shows up at school, and how children respond and react, and how children show up maybe as considered naughty, but hey, I was up all night last night because my parents were fighting. Right. So having that conversation with teachers as well, to teach them how to best approach those situations.
I know you have to run, but before you head out, I just want to ask, this is a situation that involves the entire community, whether it's friends, family, colleagues, especially. For listeners of today's show to get involved to support the center's mission, whether that's through volunteering, donating, advocacy, what's the best way for them to do that?
So one of the things that we are wanting individuals in the community to do is, number one, support someone who is in an abuse, who is a victim of domestic abuse or sexual assault. Don't dismiss them. Don't say, oh, well, they should have left. Just support them. Also, as has been reported in the news, domestic abuse court is going to be coming down the pipeline. There's some other things that need to happen as well. And we're encouraging Bermudians to push forward with your government candidate within your constituency, to encourage and put pressure on government to implement a national plan for domestic abuse, a national strategic plan, as well as a domestic abuse act, so that everybody understands where Bermuda stands when it comes to domestic abuse. Everybody understands what their responsibility is. We're also encouraging you to hold abusers accountable. It's not just about the victim, it's also about abusers. So if you're hearing a friend or someone saying, oh, well, I did this to this person or I did that to that person, hold them accountable. Talk to them about how that's inappropriate. Talk to them how they should be speaking. Talk to them about them getting help, because obviously they have been traumatized in some way, shape, or form that they feel that they need to traumatize someone else. And so we're also putting that call out to everybody and asking everyone, if you know someone who is abusive, work with them to try to get them to understand the error of their ways. Work with them to try to get them some help. You can call Center Against Abuse, and we can assist abusers with getting help for themselves and improving how they respond to others, rather than controlling others.
Indeed. Thank you so much for this. I know you've got to run part of what you do, but thank you for making time for us. And we'll definitely be in touch, because there's so much more that we can discuss to ensure that everyone in our community, be it professional, personally, or not, is able to resolve or eradicate the domestic abuse and violence in our community. So thank you so much, and we'll talk soon.
Bye, Laurie. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Laurie Shiell from the Center Against Abuse, folks. We're going to take our final break, but do not go anywhere. While we take this break, just want to let you know, if you're watching on one of our streams, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, X, Instagram, please give us a like, love, follow, share the link with your friends, your family, your colleagues. For those on Hot 1075, just take some video and tag us in your Instagram or Facebook. Let us know you're rocking with us on the radio. But we'll be back in about 2 minutes, 50 seconds. And I'm going to see if Mia and the audience can get this name that place right this morning.
Uh-oh.
Stick with us.
Forget the usual. Ditch the ordinary. Go off-grid, where adventure meets barefoot luxury. Welcome to Off-Grid RV Bermuda, the island's first recreational vehicle retreat where nature meets luxury in a fully solar-powered Airstream RV. Enjoy eco-conscious linens, cozy robes, a stove, and full bath in a mobile home. You'll find peace in every detail of your stay. Now accepting bookings for overnight stays and half-day escapes. We deliver and set up your Airstream at one of our 10 hand-picked island gems, or right to your private residence. Whether it's a honeymoon, golf getaway, birthday, or solo recharge, you'll get quality service every time. Book now at offgridrvbermuda.com and discover the sleep, serenity, and scenery you've been craving.
Hey, you all right, boy? I don't know, man. I finished running 20 minutes ago, and I feel like I'm still panting.
Look like you need to recover. Try this here. New drink. Oh, you're like you want to go to the hospital in 2 seconds ago. This will make you fast like Flora.
Tastes good.
Yeah.
Yeah, bye.
Hey, we again.
I'm recovered, bye.
Being from this little island, like yourself, we knew you needed access to reliable shipping. We set up mailboxes so you can skip all the long waits or held up in customs excuses.
With mailboxes, that won't happen. Get your packages in under 48 hours using our dashboard.
Plus, if you're a planner or headerer, our weekly consolidation service might be for you. We hold your packages in Delaware and ship them together to save you big time on shipping fees.
And with our warehouse being in Delaware, that means 0% sales tax. Pretty cool, right guys?
Looking for the best care for your pets? Nova's Ark Feed and Supply has everything you need, from top quality food to toys and supplies. We've got it all. Join our frequent buyer program and earn rewards every time you shop. Plus, we've been awarded the Clever Customer Initiative program for helping you save more. And don't forget, we open an hour early on Saturdays so you can get a head start on your pet care. Visit us today or shop online for easy pickup or delivery. Your pets will thank you.
Alrighty, welcome back. Thanks again to Laurie Shiell from the Center Against Abuse for stopping by and having that conversation with us. Folks, thanks again to all of you who continue to engage us when we have people live on the air. If you haven't already, just help us beat the algorithm. It costs you nothing. There's way too many of you and not enough of you doing it for us. So let's do us a favor, whether you're on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter X, just take 2 seconds just to hit the like, love button, share it with your friends, your family, your colleagues. Make sure as many people as you know have access to these community conversations, especially when we have important guests like Laurie on from Center Against Abuse, where we have some serious things going on in our community, right? And these folks trust our platform and trust our audience, trust you to engage on these necessary topics. So make sure that you're sharing this information with as many people as possible. All right, thanks again to the BAC group of companies, Medical House Linda's and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we can do this with you on a regular basis, and Hot 1075 for ensuring that we are exposed to even greater number of people. It's time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Bermuda Trivia, now available at stores throughout Bermuda. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. All right, Mia, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, it is where's the question? Oh,
Can I break my record from last time? Probably not.
Nah, this ain't music. You might. You're pretty well troubled. All right, it's name that place, audience. It's a name that place. Here we go. Audience, Mia.
Yes.
What is the capital of Finland?
Helsinki.
All right, didn't quite break her record, but she got it fast.
I can't believe that. I knew that. It's crazy.
Yeah, Helsinki.
Helsinki.
Yeah.
Have you been to Finland, Jamal?
No, it looks cold. I have no interest.
Me neither.
It looks freezing cold. Like
yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I'm sure we have 1 or 2 warm days though, right?
Probably. Yeah. I haven't been anywhere. I haven't been anywhere in Scandinavia actually. So
yeah. I love Scandinavian footballers. You know, they do great in their teams. Yeah. But
I love Swedish fish and their commitment to the environment.
Yeah, they're pretty advanced with that. Yeah.
They are.
Well, let's wrap it up. I mean, final thoughts. We've got let's go back to the conversation. Obviously, you got the names
yes
of the independent folks involved in the organization. Susie Arruda, Vic Bull, Christopher Bean, Cyree Dean, Ralph Commission, Wene Crockle, Dwight Jackson, Gavin Kennedy, Tiffany Painter, Renee Webb, Mysterio Weeks, and Noel Young.
Yeah.
Quite the lineup, huh?
Quite the lineup. I think it's star-studded cast.
Yeah.
And it's people who I really liked hearing from during the election. Lots of them I thought were fantastic. And I really liked what they had to say on their platforms. And I think it's exciting. I think it's exciting, Jamal. I really do. The political landscape is changing right in real time, right before our very eyes. So
I do wonder where like someone like Justin Matthias is. Maybe he's retired from politics.
Maybe he's doing some other things in the background. Maybe he's thinking might not want to be such a front-facing person. Maybe he's more for doing things in the background potentially.
Okay.
Or maybe I don't know, Jamal. Maybe it's just this is a first rollout. Maybe it's a phased rollout.
Rollout? They do that for independence?
I don't know. Maybe. Do it for American Idol.
Okay. Yeah, this is true. Final thoughts on our conversation with Laurie. What you got?
Laurie, wow, what incredible and important work they do for the Center Against Abuse. I mean, I was not aware of how full circle and how they work with other groups in the community, how much training is involved. I loved how she said they meet people where they're at, or if you are a friend noticing abuse or maybe abusive tendencies in a relationship with another friend and their partner, it's okay to speak to them about it and that you can go and support them through their journey. I just thought, everything that they have available for them is incredible.
Indeed. I agree with all you said. Real quickly before I get my thoughts, next week there will be no live show tomorrow. So all of those tuned in on Hot 1075, those live with the streaming, there's no live show tomorrow, but we'll be back with a bang next week. Sir John, 2 former premiers joining us. We've got Sir John Swan coming. We've got the Honorable Dr. former Premier Hewitt Brown. Stuart Brown. Dr. Brown's coming on next week. So a big lineup you don't want to miss next week. All right. So again, no live show tomorrow. But I just appreciate what organizations like Center Against Abuse does. My hope is that there is not a need for these organizations, meaning that we can all do right by one another so that there's no need for them. But as long as there's a need, I'm grateful that they exist. And hopefully that this community continues to support their efforts until we eradicate the behaviors that basically requires their existence. Mia, do you have any daily inspiration for us?
I do. And I was reflecting on our guests for today. And so the quote for today reflects into kind of the Center Against Abuse. And what I think is that the quote of the day is, your boundaries don't require a backstory. Your boundaries don't require a backstory.
I like that. Like, no one gives you an explanation. You don't owe anybody an explanation. Yeah.
No, and you can have boundaries, as many as you like.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you for that. Sure.
Boundaries are healthy.
To the point. Folks, don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Thanks again to our partners, the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you on Monday. I'm Jamel Hartman. Please do make it a safe and a great day. We are out. Peace.